Across the United States, universities are facing an unprecedented crackdown. From visa suspensions and deportations to cuts in funding, the Trump administration has escalated efforts to tighten control over the country's top academic institutions, taking particular aim at international students.
We didn't imagine a situation that would be this bad. We know that President Trump hasn't been that supportive of academia in the past, but this has been absolutely unreal.
The White House's latest move has been to suspend the processing of all student visas, part of a broader government plan to ramp up vetting of the social media profiles of international applicants, according to an internal government cable.
We will continue to use every tool we can to assess who it is that's coming here, whether they are students or otherwise.
The State Department has since said that a global suspension on visa processing for international students would be brief, but confusion and concern remains for students preparing to start class this fall semester. U.S. campuses like Columbia University in New York were rocked by student protests against Israel's war in Gaza in the spring of 2024. The movement saw campus buildings across the country occupied, lectures disrupted, and sparked accusations of anti-Semitism, becoming a flashpoint in President Donald Trump's effort to reshape higher education.
Very anti-Semitic when you take a look, whether it's Columbia, Harvard, Princeton. I don't know what's going on.
Several hundred international students across the country have been threatened with the cancellation of their visas. Others have been detained or arrested for reasons ranging from taking part in the pro-Palestinian protests to minor infractions.
This is not a matter of simply violating university rules. This is a movement, an anti-war movement.
These April 2024 images show Mahmoud Khalil, a lead student negotiator of the protests at Columbia. Almost a year later, on the 8th of March, he was detained in front of his pregnant wife, Noor Abdallah.
He's not resisting.
Don't worry about it.
You're gonna have to come with us. Don't worry about it.
Khalil held permanent residency at the time of his arrest. The Trump administration has moved to revoke his green card, accusing Khalil of activities aligned with Hamas.
Right now! Right now!
Khalil's arrest has triggered outrage from free speech advocates, who say such a move threatens core democratic rights.
Mahmoud Khalil was speaking out against U.S. government policies. And I want to ask you all, is this a democracy if we can't speak out against the policies of our own government?
A federal judge has now ruled the administration's efforts to deport Khalil are likely unconstitutional. And it's not only students who've been impacted. Rasha Alawiya, a professor at Brown University, was expelled from the U.S. after attending a funeral for the late Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah during a visit to her home country of Lebanon.
Rasha is the sweetest person. We've never had an issue with her in any way. She's an outstanding physician, outstanding person. She's a pleasure to work with, and we were horrified by this entire event.
At a Senate hearing in May, Marco Rubio claimed to have revoked thousands of visas, largely those of students involved in pro-Palestinian activism. The Secretary of State has since vowed to aggressively revoke visas to students from China, a top source of students to the U.S. Rubio said he would particularly go after students with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields.
I think the point of the mass cancellations of visas, the revocation of lawful status without notice or process, and the immediate deportation of people, sometimes even including American citizens, it appears, I think that's just designed to create a climate of fear, and it has worked. It's worked astonishingly well, and unfortunately well.
The administration has pressured dozens of universities to eliminate diversity policies, threatening to cut funding and labeling them hotbeds for woke liberal ideology. In March, the Trump administration cut $400 million in federal funding for Columbia University, accusing it of not sufficiently addressing anti-Semitism. Less than a week later, Columbia officials responded by stating they had issued suspensions, temporary degree revocations, and expulsions for students who had occupied a campus building during the 2024 Gaza protests.
I myself was actually just expelled from Columbia 2 days ago for participation in the protest to end the university's complicity in the genocide in Palestine. And it's pretty egregious.
While some universities have complied with the Trump administration's demands, Harvard has rejected submitting to wide-ranging federal oversight. Its president, Alan Garber, stated the university will not surrender its independence or its constitutional rights. The administration has hit back with a raft of punitive measures, shedding Harvard's contracts with the federal government, slashing its multi-billion-dollar grants, challenging its tax-free status, and seeking to ban the university from having foreign students. Undeterred by the cuts, the Harvard president doubled down against the administration at an annual graduation ceremony.
Members of the class of 2025 from down the street, across the country, and around the world. Around the world, just as it should be.
Foreign nationals make up more than a quarter of Harvard's student body. Their absence would mean major financial losses for the country's oldest university.
Press our funding now, our friends. We will fight until this ends.
Harvard's got to behave themselves. Harvard is treating our country with great disrespect. They've got to behave themselves. You know, I'm looking out for the country and for Harvard. I want Harvard to do well. I want Harvard to be great again, probably.
With visa restrictions and research funding cut, top scholars are already eyeing opportunities abroad. In the 2023-24 academic year, more than 1.1 million foreign students were enrolled at U.S. campuses, a record number.
Free speech is the center of society, and in this case, to see banned words impinging on the freedom of thought and expression directly from the government, astonishing. I never thought I would see that day.